Have you ever felt like the more you understand the world, the harder it becomes to fit into it? Like the more clearly you see, the less anyone around you seems to relate? If you've ever had that quiet feeling of being out of sync, not because you're wrong, but because you're thinking too deeply, you're not alone. Throughout history, the world has admired intelligence, but only in theory. In reality, it fears what it doesn't fully understand. And nothing is more threatening than a mind that questions everything. From ancient Greece to modern times, thinkers who challenged the norm, Plato, Spinoza, Simone Weil, were often shunned, ridiculed, or ignored. Not because their thoughts were flawed, but because their clarity unsettled the status quo. But why? Why does society so often push away those who look beneath the surface? To understand this, you have to look at how the human brain responds to discomfort. When we meet someone stronger or richer, we may feel envy, but not fear. When someone is more attractive or successful, we might feel inspired, or at worst, insecure. But when someone sees the world in ways we can't yet comprehend, that's different. Suddenly, our entire framework for understanding reality feels unstable. This is what psychologists refer to as cognitive dissonance. Deep thinkers don't just offer new ideas. They force others to confront uncomfortable truths. And the human mind hates discomfort more than it loves truth. In fact, there's something called the threat superiority effect. It's the idea that we are biologically wired to notice and respond to potential threats faster than anything else. Most people associate threats with physical danger. But in today's world, the real threat is psychological. When someone's words challenge our beliefs, values, or assumptions, we react with defense, not dialogue. That's why conversations with deep thinkers often end in awkward silence. Or worse, conflict. People aren't rejecting the person. They're rejecting the discomfort that person represents. This is why intelligence doesn't always lead to popularity. Because true intelligence isn't just about knowing facts. It's about asking questions no one wants to answer. It's about standing in a room full of certainty and daring to say, but what if we're wrong? And that takes courage. Because the deeper your thoughts go, the fewer people you'll find willing to go there with you. It's not because they're incapable. It's because the mind instinctively protects itself from change. And deep thinking, that's the ultimate change agent. You see, we don't live in a world that values insight. We live in a world that values comfort. Most people prefer a convenient lie over an uncomfortable truth. And that's the tragedy of deep thought. The smarter you become, the lonelier it may feel. Not because you're better than others, but because you're seeing things that others have been taught not to see. Even modern research confirms this. A study from the University of Virginia found that people would rather experience mild electric shocks than sit alone with their thoughts for 15 minutes. That's how uncomfortable introspection is for most. So imagine the social friction created by someone who spends their life questioning, analyzing, and dissecting reality. They're not just uncomfortable, they're disruptive. And disruption, even when it leads to truth, is rarely welcome. So what can you do if you're one of these people? If you think deeply, feel intensely, and find yourself more alone the more aware you become, understand this. Your isolation isn't a flaw. It's a symptom of seeing clearly in a blurry world. And while that clarity can feel heavy, it's also powerful. Because while others chase noise, you are listening for signal. While others seek approval, you are seeking understanding. And while others resist change, you are already evolving. So no, society may not always understand the deep thinker. But history shows they are the ones who move the world forward, not with noise, but with thought.